how did you make somebody's life better today? And now, can I follow that up with a disclaimer?
Yeah.
With the reason I'm asking that question. You see, KP, the older I'm getting, the more I realize that, you know why we are here, why we are in this life. We are here to be of service to each other.
Of course.
Nothing else. We're not here to accumulate wealth.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's wealth if you can't share? You look very stupid when you're sitting, because I used to have a sports car. You look very stupid sitting in a sports car blasting KP's music, sitting alone in a Porsche.
Yeah.
Then can you imagine sitting in a combi with a bunch of your bras
playing?
You are listening to the same music.
Yeah.
You follow what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yes.
Because when you do that, you are of service to somebody. And I also realized that we only, and I'm saying this knowing what I've experienced, you only achieve and get what you want if you are of service to other people. If you give, you get.
Yeah. 100%.
Selfish people are never successful.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Sessions, a video podcast brought to you by Pro Studio, where we discuss an entrepreneur's business life and while we edit, some social media as well.
Hi guys, welcome to another session with KP Illist, powered by Pro Studio Sessions and now Cliff for keeping us hydrated through these amazing times. Now as the name suggests, I'm your host with the most, KP Illist, but I couldn't do this on my own and I couldn't have the most by myself, so I brought my guest with the rest. No stranger to the limelight. He's a well-known businessman, personality, public speaker. He's got over 10 years in management, loads of experience in marketing, advertising, and TV production. Not to mention a 2009 induction into the Business Hall of Fame, which obviously some of us are trying to get inducted into sometime in the near or far future, you decide. And aside from that, he's an accomplished writer, a comedian, a motivational speaker, and I think even harder to be is an accomplished family man and an accomplished father. And now, second, third, or fourth, fifth time author, you tell me, Mr. Lazarus Jacobs. Laz, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
How are things going in these trying times? If I can just start off there.
Things are, I believe that what we say, we believe. So times are trying, but we are tougher.
Yeah,
it's in the beginning I was saying, look, it's this is the new normal. When something happens and it was unexpected, but then you are still in denial.
Yeah.
So I think we are slowly getting to accept reality.
Yeah, definitely.
And as soon as we accept reality, we will know how to deal with it.
Yeah. So basically, it's one of those natural selection. We have to adapt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
And only those species will adapt to change.
Exactly. Those are the ones that survive.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I wanted to start just discussing your journey from the beginning. Now, aside from business and comedy and obviously social media, because you're quite active on social media, I wanted to know, is it just a family man? Are you a farming man? Are you a craft man? Besides everything that people get to see on the surface, who exactly is Lazarus Jacobs?
A lot of people laugh when I say this, but I'm actually, in private, I'm very introverted.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why I avoid crowds. That's why you don't see me out.
Yeah.
You don't see me hanging around in crowds or
crowded places,
public places.
Yeah.
And I like family. I like a good day for me. Although it sounds like a cliche, is a day spending with my family or very, very close friends.
Yeah.
And we can spend the whole day just talking about stuff. I like debates and I like to provoke people.
Yeah, well, we're actually going to get to that. I have some questions around that. Yeah.
And I that's what I really, really, really enjoy the most. All this other stuff, I was keenly listening to your introduction. At the end of the day, I always made myself a promise that one needs to be very careful when you start believing in hype.
Yes.
And give you titles.
Yes.
That's all you see on my social media page. I never call myself anything.
It's
my name that's there.
It's just Lazarus Jacobs.
Because at the end of the day, we start forgetting our names and remembering our titles, and that's
You also get this thing where you might want to live up to that title
a
bit too much.
Lazarus called me Dr. Jacob.
Yeah, you go. Or are you Dr. Jacobs?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Even if I was, I would.
You'd still
I
just
don't
be
think I
Lazarus
would,
Jacobs. Yeah.
Yeah, unless I'm practicing
As a doctor, yeah.
medical
Of
doctor.
course,
But
yeah.
if I have like an academic degree or doctorate,
You just be Lazarus Jacobs. No, that's great. Now, if you could walk us through your journey, right? Did you always have the same aspirations? For example, when you were young, did you always have the aspiration that I'm going to become a businessman, I'm going to have an agency, I'm going to be a comedian? Was this the same thing growing up, or was it different things? Was it, I want to be a fireman, and then later, I think I want to be a police officer, and then you just stumbled upon something?
You see, what? Very good question. Initially, when I remember as a kid, I always wanted to be a lawyer for two reasons. One was I always had this thing that I need to help people.
Okay.
I always, because we grew up with apartheid and stuff, so it was always about doing justice to the unjust.
Yeah.
And so that's where the lawyer thing came in. The second thing is because I used to talk a lot.
Yeah.
So I used to always debate.
Yeah.
And there was the one profession that I realized that you get paid to talk is being a lawyer.
Yeah, definitely.
So I started developing those ambitions of being a lawyer. So even when I was in primary school, even when I was in junior high school, I used to debate with people who were in senior high school, and I used to win those debates. So,
is it?
Yeah. So I always had that. I always had that love for speaking.
Yeah.
And for engaging, even if you might call it intellectual at the time, although I was not an intellectual, I still am not. But I always like to get people's ideas and views and to challenge them. So when I went to school, when I went to high school, and subsequent to that, I started developing a love for performance arts, and speaking is all part of it. So in
of course.
We formed a theater group in the school. My best friend and I, who's since passed, and our drama teacher. So we formed this
Like a theater society type situation. Okay.
A theater group. And we were winning awards left, right, and center.
Oh, is it?
Country, we even to South Africa, we won awards there.
Was it like putting on plays and stuff?
Our teacher used to write the plays. And we used to act. And he picked up one thing, that when he was writing, we were improvising a lot because we were using what we know. And unbeknownst to us, we were doing stuff that people go and study.
Yeah, of course,
But it's because we had a love for performances.
Yeah. So it kind of came natural to you guys.
Right. And then so I realized that, I think I have this gift of gap. I like talking and I like performing. So when I finished school, so then when I was in school, I always, because of my love for storytelling, I wanted to become a filmmaker. I said, I want to be able to be a filmmaker.
Oh,
I want to go to Hollywood. I want to make movies.
Yeah.
I never said I wanted to act. I said I wanted to make movies.
Oh, you want to be there?
Tell.
Okay.
Tell stories. And unfortunately, when I finished school, I couldn't get a scholarship. This is 88. I couldn't get a scholarship. Can you imagine a black kid getting a scholarship?
In 88? No, to study film.
No. You'll get it to become a pastor.
Yeah,
Or study like public, accounting.
Yes, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
And
then I got a job. And when I was doing a job, when I was doing a really boring job, but it was paying the rent nonetheless. I was working as a clerk in the then Department of Water Affairs.
Oh, okay.
And in the evenings, I used to write. I started just writing plays because of my love for storytelling. And then there was, I think in 91, there was a youth theater competition, in which I entered. I wrote a play, got a few guys together, wrote a play, won first prize.
Is it?
Yes. And then I was like, okay, this is something I can get used to. And then I wrote the second play, a third play. So by the time I wrote my ninth play, my plays were then bought by Macmillan. It was subscribed to the ICSI back then.
Oh, yeah, the curriculum.
Yeah, the curriculum. So, and then while I was doing theater, the Namibian newspaper picked me up.
Okay.
They realized that one of the guys who came to see I wrote this play about Dr. King, imaginary visit to Namibia. So because when I read about the civil rights movement, I realized that there were similarities between the civil rights movement and Namibia's struggle for independence. So I actually brought Dr. King and put him right in the middle of Katutura. And he meets this boy called Kambonde. And Kambonde explains to him the history of Namibia. And Dr. King explains to Kambonde the civil rights movement. The play was really, really well received. I must say it received a huge audience. We toured all over the country and in South Africa.
So you actually put on the play?
Yeah.
After writing it? Okay, all right.
It was sold out for a whole week at the Warehouse Theatre.
Oh, is it?
94, sold out every
My
night.
goodness.
So it was very, very popular. Then a guy from the Namibian newspaper, Graham Holbrook, they just started a weekender page.
Okay.
And he said, man, Laz, I saw in your writing there's a lot of satire, a lot of political satire, humor. And man, we want you to write a column for the paper using humor and things like that. Using politics, but also putting a lot of humor.
Yeah.
So I started writing this column called Exekume. That was long before you were born. I started writing this column in 93, Exekume. It became very popular. And that's, by the way, the book that I brought you. There's a compilation of a lot of those columns.
Oh, in the book?
In the book.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to enjoy it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so, and when I was writing this column, so at one point I was writing this column, I was still working full-time at the Department of Water Affairs, and I was still touring.
With the play?
Then I put up subsequent plays, like I wrote a play about Toivo.
Oh, okay. So there was really an interest to tell a Namibian story.
Yeah. I always wanted to tell a Namibian story.
That's great.
And then after that, I started working for the NBC. And then the Minister of Finance at the time saw me on TV. He offered me a job as his personal assistant. And then I worked for him for personal assistant, and then I was seconded to Namwater. When they just started Namwater. And then after that, I started my own business. That was 17 years ago.
Was that the one that's standing now? Was that Paragon?
That's the one that's standing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So Paragon is 17 years old this year.
Oh, so because I was even going to ask, my next question was going to be, what were the odd jobs in between? But I can see you were a PA.
I never did odd jobs.
Is it?
No.
So it was just...
I always did solid jobs.
There was never like a restaurant at Spur.
I was too proud to do. I'm a short man. I would never be a waiter or a car cleaner or a window cleaner.
Yeah, so it was always just...
I just said, I was just too arrogant to, because I knew my potential.
Exactly.
Why must I waste my potential at being a waiter and all?
And sometimes you...
And I'm not discrediting people who do that.
Yeah.
I just said, from the beginning, that's not going to be my journey.
Because sometimes you also find yourself stuck.
Very true.
You do that, you think, okay, I'm just going to do it for a few months.
Exactly.
Ends up 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So another question that I had is, what kept you, what gave you the drive? Because the passion for speaking and things like that, what gave you the drive to then open your own business? Because I'm assuming you didn't open a comedy business.
No.
So where did the two then correlate?
Okay, so a lot of people don't actually know that. I actually did comedy as a hobby. Although I'm known as a comedian.
Yeah.
But I actually had a business. I had a full-time business employing almost 100 people when I was doing comedy.
Yeah.
So it's just because comedy gives you like a public
audience. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But the comedy came in when I was writing the column, Exekume. People said, man, Lazarus, this is really funny. People need to see this stuff.
Yeah.
And at the time, I thought to myself, man, why don't I stand-up comedy? Because I love stand-up comedy. I love Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, and the King, Richard Pryor. And I just said myself... Dave Chappelle now, yeah. But the King is Richard Pryor.
Okay.
I mean, like, nobody comes close.
Yeah.
Not even Bill Cosby. Although it's comedy as a genre, but there are styles.
Yeah, of course.
Richard Pryor was just, sure.
Is it?
Oh, no, there's nobody who comes close to him. Anyway, so I started doing stand-up comedy, did my first show called Vambuki.
It was
sold out for 2 nights at the Warehouse Theatre.
Oh, is it?
Yes. And then after that, every second month, I was doing a comedy show for a year, selling out every night.
All in the meantime, you're still running
my
business, employing people.
Yeah.
And those things are really, really like comedy and business, they're so far apart from each other.
Well, comedy can be a business if you bring the same principles.
Okay.
But what drives me is I just got a very restless personality. I'm just never happy with one thing. I'm not an 8 to 5 person. I will just...
You waste away in an office.
I'm like, I operate better under pressure.
Oh, is it?
I think so. And I also have this extreme mortal fear of failure. So I always I need to be in a situation where I can provide for my family.
Yes, of course.
And I can provide for myself. And because my father was a very proud Kwanyama man, very, very proud. And he instilled that in us. And I always said, I don't want to be in a situation where I need to beg somebody for my livelihood. And I'll tell you where it comes from. If you just give me a minute or two. So when I grew up in the township, I grew up in Grootfontein, in Omolunga Township. Okay. So when I grew up in the township, the municipality then, they used to call it the Department of Native Affairs.
Okay.
They gave black people land where the people could harvest their, plant their own
crops and
crops and stuff. So we planted those crops ever since I can remember. And then people started keeping like cattle or livestock. Planting them. Then one day, the authorities realized that less and less black people are buying food from the shops.
Yeah.
Because there were hardly any black people in shops except for the township.
The Katak shops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But these guys are not going to town anymore except for buying things like sugar. They have their own milk. They have their own pap. They are buying their own fruit and vegetable. I mean, they are
growing their own fruit and veg. Yeah.
One day, the authorities just came with bulldozers, just destroyed everything.
Oh my goodness.
They destroyed everything. No announcement. They
just entered,
destroyed everything. And until today, I'm flabbergasted why they did it, but I only realized later. Here's the thing. When people became food self-sufficient, they were not buying from the authorities. So what they did after that, they started supplying milk to every household, milk and bread every morning, every household, and they increased our tax.
Oh, so that was used to now compensate.
Exactly. So they made us dependent. So I remember when they were destroying this, I was talking about the mortal fear that I have.
For failure, yeah.
And for being independent. So when they were busy destroying this field, I was standing next to my father. I think I was about 9 or 10. I never forget, he said, you must never let somebody take away the ability to provide for yourself. And that has always stuck in my mind.
So that's kind of been like that's the life drive.
Exactly.
Jeez, I had no idea, man. Now, with all of these, with this personality you have and all of this ability, were there ever things that you had to stop yourself from doing? Like maybe you look at a musician and say, I think I can do that. Were there ever things where you had to say, nah, Lazarus, I think you can stop here? Or was it everything you thought I'm going to do, you just went for?
There's never something I put my mind to it I don't do.
Is it?
Otherwise, I just don't do it. I admire you guys. I love musicians. Any performer, whether it's a comedian or actor, secretly they have envy for musicians. Because we always think like, man, I can rap like Katie. I can dance like Michael Jackson. Every performer will have a level of admiration for performance artists. But I never tried to say, okay, I can sing, because I know I can sing, or dance, I know I can dance. So, but I enjoy it as an art form. I will enjoy like visual art.
Yeah.
I'll say painting
just admire it.
By Shikongeni or Joel Mwafangeo.
Yeah.
You understand? Or Picasso. Or what. But I'll have an appreciation for that. But I'll never try to do that. One musician that I really, really admire is Miles Davis. I tried to play the trumpet and I failed dismally. And I took up guitar, so I can play a bit of guitar.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, but I don't take on things unless I know I don't have the ability. Especially if I know I don't have the ability to do them.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
But if you felt it was something that you definitely want to do and you feel you're capable,
I go for it.
you just went for it.
I go for it. I have that drive. For example, I've taken up photography now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm big on photography. But took a course on YouTube.
YouTube is the
And
new university.
I mean, if you check on my Instagram page, you'll see some of the pictures I've taken. Some people were like, Laz, did you really take these pictures? I'm like, of course I did. You understand?
No, that's great. And I think that's something to hold on to even for younger people.
Right.
Because I know growing up, you start to think that you kind of can't do everything.
Yeah. And also, we need to be very, very careful. I mean, I grew up with parents. I was lucky. I grew up with parents who encourage us to do things. And also as a father of 3, I'm very, very careful about the words I communicate to my children. Because we need to be very, very, very careful what you say to other people and what you take from other people. If somebody say to you, Last, what, you want to be a comedian? Please. You understand?
Yeah.
I will not do it to prove you wrong. I'll do it to prove myself right.
Yeah, that you knew you could.
That I knew I could. And I mean, we all know our abilities. It's just that most of the time we ask, what will the people say? What if I fail? What, you know what I mean?
We create all of these barriers for ourselves.
Exactly.
Now, while you were doing all of this, was it the comedy that helped fund the business, or was it the business? Because obviously putting on a comedy show is not free.
Yeah.
So was it the comedy that helped fund the business, or was it the business that helped fund the comedy?
They were totally mutually exclusive. Comedy never really made me money. No, you can't really make money in comedy.
Yeah.
But it gave me a public persona.
Yeah.
Gave me a public exposure.
Yeah, the audience.
So if I pick up the phone and I call KP, hey, who's this Lazarus? Who's Lazarus? Lazarus? Oh, Lazarus the comedian.
The comedian. Oh, yeah.
That opens the door.
Okay. I see.
People always like try to make fun. If somebody wants to discredit me, they'll be like, Lazarus that comedian, almost like to belittle me.
Yeah.
And also, you can't weaponize my talent against me.
Against yourself. Yeah.
I am proud to be able to have the ability to make people laugh.
Yeah.
You understand?
Of course.
And that ability is what opened a lot of doors for me. I mean, I don't have a tertiary qualification. I only have grade 12. But I have my talent and my ability to tell jokes. You probably notice I'm not calling myself a comedian, like I said.
Yeah.
This label thing. It has opened so many doors for me.
Even in the business world.
Yeah, especially in the business world. Especially in the business world, because when I was doing comedy, I was also doing a lot of hosting, so I used to MC a lot.
Okay.
So people like, we're looking for somebody who can be an MC, somebody who can crack jokes, like what Neville is doing right now.
Of course, yeah.
So, and then I did a lot of corporate gigs. So the next day when I'm calling a bank or Nampower or Namwater looking for a business, they'll be like, okay, Laz, before you come, tell us a joke quick.
Tell us.
So that opened a lot of...
Oh, so that was kind of like an icebreaker for you.
Exactly. Always.
Now, I wanted to get into something with the social media, because I know you're very active on social media.
I'm very opinionated.
Exactly. So some people might even see you as a bit polarizing.
Right.
Now, how does that work with being a family man? Because knowing that you have a daughter that's also active on social media, does that ever create a conflict, or is there understanding beforehand? Does your daughter ever text you from the other room and say, stop fighting with that guy on Twitter? Can you please?
You know, let me just talk about my daughter. You probably, for those people who follow my daughter on social media, you'll also find out that she's very opinionated. Very. She's very straightforward. She says things. But there was a value I tried to inculcate in her. Because that same value was inculcated in me by my mother.
Exactly.
Especially my mother. My mother is somebody who always
speaks her mind.
You need to speak your mind. You need to tell people exactly what. My two things my parents could never take was lies and theft. So they always like, just tell me the truth and just be straightforward and honest.
Yeah.
So those little values that they have. So now, my daughter because she's very subjective. She has never texted me and said, Daddy, don't do this. She always said, like, Daddy, give him hell. Because I do the same thing. Somebody takes her on, I'll say, give him hell. You understand? And I always say that I don't attack people. I'll defend the principle.
Yeah.
So if somebody is going on social media, you can call me all kinds of names, it's fine. But when you call me a thief or a crook or a dishonest person, because that goes against my values. Then
that's your character.
That reflects on me as a parent.
Uh-huh.
You understand? That is something I'll defend until I die. You cannot go on social media. You can say all kinds of things. Maybe I'm not a good businessman or I'm not funny comedian. That's fine. That's your opinion.
That's opinion. Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
But if you start attacking my values, no, you can forget about it. My wife will probably be the one saying, "Okay, baby, I think it's enough."
I think you can switch the phone off. Yeah.
No, she'll just say, "Baby, I think the point is made."
Oh, okay.
And then I'll back off.
Oh, so it's like there's no need to belabor it any further.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, is it difficult to juggle those two? Being because most people, you say once they reach a certain age, you say, "Oh, at 35, no, I'm too old for these Instagram things. Or I'm too old for this Twitter thing." Is it difficult to juggle being?
No. You see, remember, internet is a tool. The internet is a tool, as you know that better than me because you are in that generation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And you probably realize that on my Instagram page, I always try to talk about the stuff that I'm passionate about, whether it's photography, whether it's politics, whether it's
business,
motivating people, and things like that. On Twitter is where I have interaction. So, and I will always interact about those issues that I'm passionate about. And I will also on social media, unless I know you personally, like I like healthy banter, like me and Knowledge Kati.
Yeah. Healthy banter.
He's a personal friend. A lot of people who don't know me, don't know us, they'll think, "Whoa, these guys are taking each other on."
I think me as one person, until recently, I was, why these guys? I put them in a ring, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have a personal friendship. So and I will taunt him, I will taunt me. But somebody else, I'll always, and I know that if I put out something on social media, it will get a reaction.
Of course.
You understand? So, and I will, the same thing with Job Amupanda. If he agitates. So if he puts something out on social media, he knows he's soliciting a reaction from his audience. So now the difference is when you're soliciting a reaction and then somebody who's totally ignorant about the subject matter thinks they just need to participate. Without
trolls.
having think about really thinking. And I always say that if you look at social media, you must realize that 80% of people who are active on social media are totally ignorant about particular subjects. And they will probably, I was laughing the other day, so if people have a particular perception about you, he's a businessman, he's black, he equals corrupt. So when I say something, even if it's positive, they will always try to come up with something negative. My character and personality. That's 80 to 90% of people on social media. The 10% of people are people who can actually have a constructive engagement. I'll give you another example. If you went on social media and say, "I bought my mother a house," because somebody has a particular perception about you, they'll say, "Yeah, we know how you bought your mother a house, but actually the woman that you are dating's father is rich.
Yeah,
so we know where the money comes." You understand what I mean? So it's that whole cancel culture, which is leaving us all dumb.
Yeah, definitely. And it's leaving us with a lack of needing to go after information. Instead of trying to find out, let me see what this person actually does.
Very few people do that.
Exactly. And it's the funniest thing because we live in the information era where it's the most easily accessible.
And I always say that I will not participate in a debate unless I have done proper research about it.
Yeah.
If I don't know, I would rather just keep quiet.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna just because I have access to 180 characters and Wi-Fi, and I'm just gonna be there splashing. And it's always nice because for people who do this type of thing, they'll say, "Okay, let me say something that's going to be very hurtful, so I can get likes and retweets."
Yeah. A couple of those.
That shows you there's something about your character and your personality. If you get a kick out of hurting somebody, what does it say about you?
Exactly.
You follow what I mean?
You probably have flaws that you need to address.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have issues.
Exactly.
Maybe a mommy or daddy issues.
Yes,
but
something needs to be sorted.
Right.
You actually answered one of my questions because I was going to ask you, do you think the majority of people on social media that you interact with are on there for the right reasons. Because like Barack Obama said, social media is a powerful tool.
It is.
If used properly,
Yeah.
it's probably one of the most powerful tools we have
absolutely.
nowadays, if used properly. But like you just said...
Look, I must say that if you look how young people, especially the shut it all down movement, how they use social media, that was powerful. It was positive.
Exactly.
It was powerful, and it was born out of... I'm very envious of this current young generation that they had social media. When I was in high school, we did not have social media. It was word of mouth.
Yeah.
We had to get to the ticket box to college. Guys, demonstration next week. You follow, and you hope people are gonna show up.
Yeah.
But social media is instant, and I must say that if you look at the shut it down movement and stuff like that, that was very, very powerful. It's a powerful tool if it's used properly.
Exactly.
But the rest of the time is just slut shaming people, or calling people names, or
Anything to
lying about
to
people, gaslighting and dog whistling and
no. People love. I remember I read someone posted something about a musician, and then another person commented and tagged the musician and said, "Are you just gonna leave this?"
Right.
And then he said, "If I bark at every dog that barks at me, I'll never get home."
Exactly. And I mean, even yesterday I posted something and somebody said something very stupid, and I just looked at this, and I was just like, I there was no way I was going to reply.
Yeah,
I was just like, seriously, is this where we are right now?
This is how low.
I mean, literally, I'm like, you don't even know me from a bar of soap.
You understand?
You're gonna say something so stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what you want? If
You won't
want to
dignify it with the response.
Yeah, come on. Nah. And most people, you're like, you're gonna say something. Let me see if I'm gonna get a reaction from Lazarus. I mean, you're not gonna get the reaction.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's the highlight of their day. Yeah. So how many times a day do you check your socials? Like, do you check your Twitter? Do you check your Instagram? And then which one of them do you check the most?
Probably twice. Early in the morning, I'll always check news. I always read my news. Now, what I do is every day I have a theme for the day.
Okay.
So I have weekly themes and I have daily themes. So the theme for the day will probably be like, let me study KP's lyrics. Then for the day I'm gonna go to your Instagram page or your Twitter page, and I'll read a bit of your lyrics and things. So that will keep me a little bit. And then I'll probably, when I'm having lunch, I'll probably quickly check. I'll probably 3 times a day.
Okay.
But I'm on social media a lot because I read a lot of social media. Because I follow news sites. I read a lot about art or whatever art it is.
Yeah.
So social media is always good because if I want to know what something about Basquiat or whatever, I'll follow somebody who follows Basquiat,
and then you could.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like being such an avid businessman has dampened your love for the arts at all?
No, in fact, it has blessed me the ability to even have access to some of the art I wouldn't have.
Okay.
I saw Jay-Z in concert and business did that for me. I was able to buy a John Mwafangeo, which was very expensive.
Yeah.
And business enabled me to do that. I'm able to fly and see Sir Alex Ferguson doing a business presentation.
Yeah.
It cost me £8,000, and I was able to because of business.
Okay, so you didn't feel like, okay, cool, now that I'm this, I can stay away from the other side completely.
In fact, it has made it more possible.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, amidst the pandemic, there's so much going on. Why a book? What made you decide, like, it's now, this is the time now?
For a couple of reasons. I basically, my wife was pestering me to finish the book. Because I was supposed to do this a lot.
Oh, so it's a work in progress.
It was, and then, but the book has got a lot of humor. And it's addressing a lot of the issues those issues are from the 90s, but if you read it, you'll find out, but we're still dealing with the same issues here.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that since everybody is so depressed, and that's what we do, isn't it? As an artist, you as an artist, you also, that family, I think the mood in the country is down. So let me do a show. It's just for that hour and a half. People can it's just an escapist thing.
Yeah.
And I just thought that the book, it still looks a lot of serious issues, but from a it's a satire, so from a humorous perspective.
Makes it a bit easier to
It
swallow.
makes it exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So why the name Gone Native?
So the name is one of my favorite authors of all time is a guy called James Baldwin. A U.S. He was a civil rights leader. But he was an author, an essayist. He wrote this compilation called Notes of a Native Son.
Okay.
And in honor of him, I called it Gone Native.
Gone Native. Yeah. Okay. So do you feel this book is like you just said, it speaks about issues in the 90s, but you still feel like it fits right now?
You'll see that there's issues about the LGBTQ community. See things about youth and where they are right now. You'll see a lot of stuff about corruption. See a lot of stuff about government and its inability to deliver services and stuff.
Yeah,
like
okay.
Presented, it's a social experiment.
Oh, okay. Now, did you have to, because like you said, you had been working on it for a while. Did you have to then, when you got back to working on it, firstly, was it a thing of you worked on it and then you stopped for a long time?
You see, what happened is those columns are columns I wrote in the 90s.
Yeah. You said so, like the Exekume.
And then, exactly. And then when I started thinking about compiling them, I had to go through. Remember, I wrote this column for almost 12 years. Every week, I had a column for 12 years. So I had a lot of material. So the tough part was to choose which columns to publish. Because I wanted to publish those columns which are relevant for now. I didn't want to publish columns which were dealing with issues which are not relevant. Because I wanted somebody, a younger audience. That's why you see a lot of the marketing that I've been doing was predominantly to a younger audience.
Yeah.
So I didn't want them to say, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Exactly. So, to be completely divorced from it.
Exactly. So I wanted to talk about those things that can resonate with the current young audience.
So did you have to then look at some of the stuff you had already started doing and then say, okay, this is fine, but I need to adjust it?
No, I didn't adjust anything because I wanted to be authentic. I didn't want to change anything. We just did a few edits. Like you'll see in the book, there's a glossary where we gave like the abbreviations, giving a bit of background story. When we say something, so somebody who's an unsuspecting reader can say, this is what opposite
is. This is what this means.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to just go away and just come back to your personal life and say, what for you in the last, let's say in the last decade, what has been the lowest point in life? Was there a point where you really felt like, things are really not happening?
When I got divorced, when I got divorced, there was because I believe in family and nobody gets married to get divorced.
Of course.
There was very, very low. The second lowest thing was probably, a lot of people don't know this, but from 2003 to 2005, I was 90% blind.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was legally blind.
Oh,
I had this rare condition called seronegative arthritis, and it attacked my eyes.
Oh,
and that was because I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't drive.
Of course, yeah.
I came very close to say, man,
it's just leave everything.
What's the point of going through doing all of those things only to
end up here? Yeah. What was the support? The support system that kept you going?
I had very good family members, family really, and friends. Like I said, most of my friends that I've had for an average 25 years.
Oh, okay.
So I don't make very new friends. I make new acquaintances. but my friendship cycle is always very tight.
It's always been the same.
Yeah, I have a very, very good support network in terms of family and few friends.
So that's what really kept you going through that time.
At the end of the day, you'll realize the older you get, that's what it's all about. You're not going to be known as that guy who used to drive a Porsche. You can be known as a guy who helped a friend in need. That's that to me, or a good father or a good husband.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
And what was the highest in the last decade? I know you had a child in the last decade.
2.
So what was the highest point?
2.
I don't want to make you choose between those two.
Not saying I have 2 kids.
Yeah, no,
in the last decade.
I don't want to make you choose between one of them as the highest.
No, both of them were the highest.
Well, really?
Yeah, starting a new family again. Meeting my wife, marrying her, and that setting up a new family, to me, that was, it makes you even forget about the the lows that
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
experienced. Yeah, that to me that was the most important thing. And also the other thing was when we built our head office. You've seen my building.
Yeah, of course.
When that building was standing, I was just like, yo.
The one in Eros now.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, these two young guys who met in 1986 in Swakopmund in Mondesa.
Yeah.
We were both kids.
Uh-huh.
And how many years later we put this up together?
So you guys have been friends for that long?
Yeah, we met in 1986.
In Mondesa?
In Mondesa at the football field. Because I went to high school. Des is 3 years younger than me. So when I was in high school, he was in primary school.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
But because I was small, I used to play soccer with those guys.
Oh, with the smaller guys.
And that's how our friendship started.
Oh, and now it's oh, so you really have kept the same friends.
I don't join new things.
You
Whether it's new political parties or new friendships or new nightclubs.
You like the way
or new like food fetishes.
Yeah.
I don't join new things.
You like things the way they are. I think that's also why for me I don't like big cities. Because in your Cape Town there's always something new. There's always something brand new.
I don't join new things. I have certain values and principles by which I live and I stick to.
Yeah. That's honorable.
So I will never listen to piano music.
Oh, is it because
I'm a piano?
Yeah, I'm a piano. No.
Oh, house.
Yeah, you and I both. But I think mine is a bit
those
personal.
are new things.
Mine is because house killed hip hop for some time. Right. But okay, we're gonna get into now what we call the speed round.
Right.
So I just need you off the top of your head.
Okay.
Okay, so the first...
I'm not responsible for what I'm going to say.
No. It's very simple.
Okay.
So the first is called either or. Now, before I get one of the questions, it's very important for me to give the viewers and listeners some backstory.
Okay.
Les, you are into farming.
Very much so.
100%.
200%.
Okay, because there's a question here. If you answer it a certain way, someone might go, huh?
Okay.
But now that they know you're into farming. Okay, so the first two questions are either or.
Yeah.
Gourmet dinner or traditional food?
Traditional food.
Porsche Panamera or Land Cruiser?
Land Cruiser.
There you go. You see, now people will understand, he's into farming. Yeah. Okay, now we go to great investment or not worth it? Dial a bottle. Have you heard of dial a bottle?
Dial a bottle?
Yeah.
No.
Where you don't have alcohol, so you call someone.
Oh, yeah, I heard something. My daughter told me about it.
Yeah, so what do you think? Dial a bottle, great investment, not worth it?
Great investment.
Great investment. Bitcoin.
I'm actually, next week, I'm starting to read about cryptocurrency.
Is it?
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of research about it. That's the future.
Okay, so you think...
That's the future. Cryptocurrency is the future. The time has come. There's nothing you can do about it.
Great investment. Okay, iPhone 12. Great investment, not worth it.
To be honest with you, I don't even know what my iPhone is. Honestly, I don't know what number my iPhone is. And I know this is a no question or whatever. But I try... To me, a TV must just work. A phone must just ring.
Okay.
A camera must just take pictures.
So if it's not broken, there's no...
I think my iPhone is like 3 years old.
So if it's the way it is, that's fine.
If I'm still receiving calls and I'm sending text messages and I'm able to access the internet, I'm good.
Okay.
So I don't even know iPhone 12. No. Sorry.
As long as it does what it's supposed to.
It must just work.
Okay. Now, I just have a question for you. Why?
I think this is a 7 or something. I don't know.
No, that looks like a 10.
I don't know. Because I get it through the company.
Oh, is it?
This contract thing.
It's definitely a 10 then. Yeah. No company's going to give you a 7 now.
I don't know, but all I know, my friends always laugh at my phone.
Oh, so what are you looking... Okay, now that's not speed round. What are you looking forward to most when things hopefully get back to normal? Because I know they say when Corona ends, it's starting to sound like when he changes. But when things hopefully get back to normal, let's say in an ideal world where everyone is vaccinated and now everyone can go, what is the one thing you are looking forward to the most?
Personally?
Yeah.
To be debt-free.
To be debt-free?
Yeah.
When everything is open?
Yeah. I want to be able to work to become... Oh, you mean subsequently or immediately?
No, subsequently.
To be debt-free. To work hard again to become debt-free.
To be able to do...
Yeah, because I've accumulated a lot of debt because business is not doing very well.
Yeah, work has been limited.
Yeah.
And anything you're looking forward to in the long run, for example, travel, for example. But is there any...
I have two. One, I really want our economy to pick up, man.
Definitely.
The unemployment rate in our country is really painful. And it's affecting predominantly young people.
Yeah.
And travel, my wife wants to see Andrea Bocelli live in concert, so I'm looking forward to it.
Jeez, that is the. And me, I'm a big advocate of opera music. So she wants
She
to.
loves Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah, but he's quite.
He's amazing.
He's quite a special to overcome everything that he's overcome as well.
Oh, he's just a walking inspiration.
So now this one is a bit personal.
Sure.
If you could pick one profession for your daughter to marry, which would it be?
Oh yeah. Because she's an artist. She's gonna. Most artists are screwed over because they don't understand law.
So you'd like that personal. Now, actually, I had a question relating to that. Is that where the motivational speaking comes from? From the fact that you wanted to help people?
Yes.
But maybe the law wasn't the path.
I've always had this because our parents have instilled that notion of being of service to others. And I'll give you an example. When I grew up in Grootfontein, in my household, we had the normal township houses, the normal 4-room houses.
Yeah.
And at any given time, we were never less than 10 in that house.
Oh.
They were always taking on some miscellaneous cousins and uncles to come and stay with us. And it was always about, my father used to say, we have a roof over our head. Those people don't have a roof. Let them come and stay.
Give them a roof.
So it's a sense of service. That, and it also comes from my maternal grandmother.
Oh, okay.
There was this matriarch.
Oh, okay. So just the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Bring them in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you could choose one thing out of all of the many hats that you wear, if you could choose one hat full time, if you had to either leave the business,
yeah,
comedy,
I would not be in. That would be easy because I don't see myself being in business long. So if I have to choose one thing,
one hat, comedy, writing, comedy, author, motivational speaker, filmmaker.
Sure. Only one.
Only one. And I say for the rest of your life, so that you have to understand that
you're putting me in a tight spot. Filmmaker,
100%.
100%.
And if there's any specific genre of film you could make, not for the rest of your life, but what tickles your fancy the most?
Drama.
Is it?
Yeah, I like conflict in art. Art is all about conflict. I was listening to your album yesterday, and you can see the conflict in the music. You understand? You can see every art form has got an arc.
Yeah, exactly.
Understand?
Exactly.
And when the conflict comes together, whether it's in a spoken word or in a song and stuff like that, I like that. I like drama in every art form, whether it's in a painting, in music, whether it's jazz music. That's why I love jazz music. There's a lot of drama.
Exactly. Yeah, happening in the music. Yeah. Is there anything are you a series person? Series or movies, if you had to pick?
I can't. Oh, I need to pick now.
Yeah, if you had to.
Movie.
You're a movie person. Hey, what's the best movie you've seen in the last, let's say 3 months?
The Two Popes.
The Two Popes?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Brilliant.
Haven't seen it yet.
You must watch that movie. I think it was one of those underrated movies. It was about, it's about how Benedictus, previous Pope, resigns, and this Pope Francis is coming up, but they actually meet under the auspices of Pope Francis might be fired.
Oh.
But only to find out that Benedictus is actually looking for a successor.
Oh, okay.
It's a brilliant story about leadership, to know your abilities and your inabilities. It's also a brilliant story about core values and principles.
Yeah.
And also it gave me, my wife is Catholic, and I'm Lutheran,
yeah,
so I'm Protestant. And you know how we grew up, we always like, these Catholics.
Yeah. Don't do that. Them and their things.
So, and that actually gave me a deep insight into the Catholic Church. And I mean it in a positive way.
Yeah.
So I love that, and I love Anthony Hopkins. If you haven't seen Silence of the Lambs,
that one I've seen.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
There's this scene where he says, because he's a cannibal.
Of course.
I've had his liver with flavour beans in a Chianti. You understand? So Anthony Hopkins is absolutely brilliant in that movie.
Did you watch The Two Popes with your wife?
Yes, we did. She actually picked it.
Oh, okay,
She
okay,
actually
okay.
picked it. We watched that movie twice.
Oh,
Twice.
is that good?
It's that brilliant.
Oh my goodness. Then
You have to watch it.
then I definitely need to advise everyone else also listening
them.
to watch The Two Popes. Now, lastly, I want to just to wrap this up. If you could ask the people listening and the people watching one thought-provoking question, if you could leave them with some food for thought, but most of the time, instead of leaving them with a phrase, you want to leave them with something they should ask themselves. Even if it's to ask yourself, are you doing what you love doing right now? For example, what's one thought-provoking question you'd love to ask young people?
How did you make somebody's life better today?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Follow. And can I follow that up with a disclaimer?
Yeah.
With the reason I'm asking that question. You see, KP, the older I'm getting, the more I realize that, you know why we are here, why we are in this life. We are here to be of service to each other.
Of course.
Nothing else. We're not here to accumulate wealth.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's wealth if you can't share it? It looks very. You look very stupid when you're sitting, because I used to have a sports car. You look very stupid sitting in a sports car blasting KP's music, sitting alone in a Porsche.
Yeah.
Then can you imagine sitting in a combi with a bunch of your bras
Playing
you are
music.
listening to the same music?
Yeah.
You follow what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yes.
Because when you do that, you are of service to somebody. And I also realized that we only, and I'm saying this knowing what I've experienced, you only achieve and get what you want if you are of service to other people.
Okay.
If you give, you get.
Yeah. 100%.
Selfish people are never successful.
A giving hand is always a giving hand is always a full hand. Yeah. No. That's great. Thank you so much for your time, Les. And hey, congratulations on the new book.
Thank you. No, you're welcome.
And I hope the family, everything goes well with the family. I see your daughter is definitely a chip off the old block.
Yeah, she's...
The apple doesn't fall far.
Yeah, you know how people always give me a lot of credit for that, but a lot of it is also got to do with her mom.
Is it?
Her mom is a writer. I'm also a writer, but her mom is a much better writer than me. And I think the talking comes from me.
Is it?
But the artistic creative part, a lot of it also comes from her mom, because her mom comes from a very artistic family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did she have any input in the book? Your wife?
Mother?
Yeah.
No, not at all. She used to, in the beginning, like, tell me, why did you say this or whatever.
But that's all you.
That's
You are guilty as child for
there
this.
I'm definitely guilty.
Okay. No, but thank you so much for your time.
No, thanks so
and lastly, who do you think we should have as a guest?
Next. Anybody. I think you should interview the president.
Oh, wonderful.
I think for a couple of reasons. I love you as a brother. You are a very straightforward. You're hardworking. You don't hear crap about you. You're very honest.
Yeah.
So one can see you come from a good family.
Yeah.
You are very sincere about what you do. And I think looking at the crop of artists in our country, 5-10 years from now, if you continue doing what you're doing, you'll be one of the few people who will be remembered for what you're doing. So, and I think that for what you do and who you are, the president will not hesitate to be interviewed by you.
Oh, then we definitely need to stretch out our hands and start reaching to the higher places.
And stick to your humility.
Yeah.
Stick to your humility. Not that you need my advice, but stick to your humility and just stick to be true to yourself. Because I've noticed a lot of artists, unfortunately, when they see the money is not coming in and all that stuff, they start doing all kinds of stupid things, which then end up compromising their art. You don't do it. You say, okay, I still have my music, but I still do business.
Of course.
The issue with the podcast is I didn't see it coming.
Oh, yeah, no, it was also, I have to thank Pro Studios. They also just kind of blindsided me and said, let's do it.
So just keep doing that. Namibia needs more.
Definitely. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for your time. All the best. Guys, that was a session with KP Illis, powered by Pro Studios. We can't wait to see you on the next one, which will be very soon. But for now, I'll leave you with the best.